Here are 3 true scary stories from Reddit. The links to the stories are in the description below. Enjoy. Number 1. About 13 years ago, when I was just a 5-year-old girl, my family went cross-country for my cousin's wedding in Minnesota. The couple of days we had been there, I knew the hotel room number and floor we stayed on, etc., but for obvious reasons, I was not allowed to venture off on my own. I was a dumbass kid, prone to wandering off frequently, so I was subjected to a child leash for the majority of the time of our stay. However, on the 3rd day in the midst of the wedding preparations, I somehow got separated from my family. I wandered around the hotel for almost a good 20 minutes, and in that amount of time I wound up in the wrong tower of the hotel. I was on the right floor, just in the wrong building, so the numbers were completely off. I walked down the hallway, still looking for my parents' room number, when a man opened his door. I remember this very vividly, actually. He scarily resembled my dad, only whiter and way older, and he smelled like cat piss and cigarettes. He wasn't even that close to me, yet the stench was so strong I could smell it. Since he looked so much like my dad, I thought he was an uncle or some relative I hadn't met yet. "Are you lost, baby girl?" His voice was very gravelly and rough. I didn't like it, but I still thought he was a relative, so I didn't run away. "Yeah, I lost my mommy." His face spread into this weird smile that made me really uncomfortable. "Why don't you come in here and we could call mommy?" Even being a stupid toddler, something about this guy felt very off, so I didn't respond. "I'll give you some candy while you wait for mommy to come get you." I still didn't respond, so he quickly became agitated and started walking towards me. Before he could grab me though, by some grace of God or something, my Auntie Wendy and Cousin Crystal happened to be in the same hallway and heard me talking. They ran out of their room and grabbed me before the man could lay a hand on me. While we waited for my parents to come get me, they grilled me with the "don't talk to strangers" lecture. I can't remember what happened after that, if the guy got arrested or not. I'm really glad that something was watching over me that day. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead in a ditch by now. Guy in the hotel room, let's not meet, and I hope other kids won't meet you either. Number 2. Growing up, my dad was a semi-truck driver. He drove full-time all over the country. We didn't get to see him very often, but he used to call home almost every night. And in the summer, my sisters and I got to travel with him for a week or 2. We called it trucking. This story happened when I was really little, probably 4 or so, and I really don't remember it. I was trucking with my dad, and he was experiencing some minor engine trouble. Before he was a truck driver, my dad was a mechanic and did most of his own truck repairs. He had pulled over in a small truck stop to work on the truck. There was a tree next to the parking lot, so he sat me down underneath it with my doll, and he worked on the truck right next to me. It was really hot, and he was laying underneath the hot truck, and he blacked out. Who knows how long he was out. He was having a heat stroke. He finally came to with a splitting headache. He looked over to the tree to check on me, and I was still just sitting there playing with my doll. But there was a guy creeping up behind me, reaching out to grab me. I don't know how, but with the little energy my dad had left, he jumped out from under the truck yelling and swinging whatever tool he had nearby. The guy ran off, and my dad collapsed. A lady working inside the truck stop saw the whole thing and came running out. She got me and my dad inside and took care of me while he cooled down. I don't know what would have happened if my dad hadn't woken up when he did. Creepy truck stop dude, let's never meet. Number 3. So, I just recently bumped into my 5th grade teacher, Miss S. Well, she really wasn't a teacher, but she reminded me of an incident that happened when I was her student. It gave me chills when she told it to me. Back in elementary school from 3rd to 5th grade, I used to attend this after-school program called Think Together. It helped kids with their homework and also had fun activities that they could participate in. The program was from 3 to 6 p.m., and if you were old enough, either in the 5th or 6th grade, you could walk home by yourself, with your parents' permission, of course. Since I only lived 5 minutes away, I had permission to walk home alone. Just to give a quick picture, there were 2 ways to exit the school, either from the front or the back. The front was always the most populated, packed with cars and people. It was the exit everyone used. Only a couple students like myself used the exit at the back of the school. The back was always quiet and lonely, and to add to the creepiness of it all, it was next to a fenced-in water ditch. At the time, I didn't think it was that creepy because the playground was there. Sometimes I would leave a bit early to climb along the monkey bars or play in the swings. As Miss S was recounting the story, the memory of the day started coming back to me, and I remembered that day if it were yesterday. I remember that I signed myself out and headed to the playground to play on the swings for a while. Then I was headed up a hill when I saw Miss S coming down it straight for me. She grabbed my arm and told me we had to go back. I didn't understand why, but I listened to her anyways. She took me back to the school and called the cops. To be honest, I was more worried that my mom would get mad at me for not coming home before the sun went down. It turns out that there was a man in the parking lot behind my school. He had his car parked near the path I took home, and he was caught in the bushes hiding with a big metal baseball bat. When my mom finally arrived, she grabbed me and started crying. I didn't understand why at the time, but I was naive and I'm sure my mom knew that I would have trusted this stranger. I was aware of stranger danger, but my naivete would have won over. Now, I understand why I wasn't allowed to walk home after this. I had never questioned why I couldn't walk home, and I feel stupid for that. I never heard of this incident again until today. Miss S told me that she was patrolling the area before I signed out and saw a strange man walking back and forth, looking inside the school. She decided to check it out, and as she got closer, she saw a shiny reflection. She then approached a bush and saw a long metal baseball bat. She looked around and saw a black car with a man sitting inside, just staring at her. That's when she saw me coming. Just thinking back to this moment gives me the chills. I mean, what would have happened if Miss S hadn't patrolled the area that day? Would I be writing, telling you about this story? Probably not. So thank you, Miss S, for saving my life that day. And to my possible kidnapper, let's not meet. Ever. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.